Oh, sorry, we went black there for a minute. Welcome, episode 29, season 2 of the Plastic Crack podcast. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Suddenly, my screen went all blank there. Sorry about that, guys. As blank as my memory. So, welcome to the Monday Night Frivolities. We've got a special guest tonight. We have Mac here, who is coordinator of Salute, the famous wargaming show down in London every year from South London Warlords. Welcome, Mac.
Thank you, guys.
We've also got the usual reprobates. We've got Steve from On Point HQ over there. We've got Ken down in the corner there.
Hello.
I shouldn't say Ken, should I say the brother, Kenneth Eldridge.
I'm really not going to live that down, am I?
No, you're not.
No,
you haven't got a hope in hell of it, because I just had a thought. Here's a new intro I did for this show.
What?
And I think, that we could get Ken ordained and he could do weddings.
I am ordained already.
What?
I'm ordained. I generally am ordained.
Bullshit.
No, absolutely not. I'll send you proof if you want to see it.
Oh my god!
I don't know if I want to ask why or.
I have Brother Eldridge from I think it's the Church of Christ and Belite or something like that.
Did you say Brother Eldridge?
Yeah, that's who I am.
That sounds awesome.
We are blessed, brothers and sisters. We are gathered here together.
Poor Mac.
Sorry, bit of an in joke there. I've also got Martin, of course, from.
Hello, I can't.
Seventh
I don't know who I am after that anymore.
I still have visions of your faces. I mean, I wasn't even looking, but you two were just like completely. What the hell is Ken on?
Well, I didn't know, because there's so much crap that comes from that corner of the screen normally. It just kind of flows over me. But that was something I was never ever expecting. But I still can't. Haley didn't believe me. When I went to bed last Monday, I woke her up, and as you can imagine, she was thrilled, and then I made her watch it again. So she could see you. We wasn't joking.
Unbelievable. Anyway, enough of the follow. Let's say hello to a few folks. We got Louis Baby. He's probably busy doing his landwear or something in the chat there somewhere. Got Lazy Pirate Painting, Lionheart, Enemy in Sight, Friends of General Haig, Drew, Richard, Steve, Marky Sparky, Ham and Jam, Luke, Gary, Evil Jim Reaper, who of course sponsors this channel tonight. Thank you, Jim. Go over to reapergames.co.uk for all your delights from Jim. There'll be a code along later on for our usual 10% off, in addition to his wonderful 20% off. We've got Sophia. Carl's here. Hi, Carl. Shakos and Sprues. Gran Prego. Crossing Obstacles Gaming. Rich M. Carl G, Battle Knights without a letter, and GP. I think that's everybody. So welcome, folks. Thanks very much again for our normal night of stupidity on a Monday night. What have we been up to? What's everyone been up to? Let's start with our guest, Mac. You've sent me some really interesting pictures, and I'm fascinated by them. Let me find this one here for a starter.
I mean, that's basically a game Stars and Lasers. For my sins, one of the rule sets that I wrote. I play at the club quite often. It was the first Monday back at the club, basically, so it was a good friendly game. One of my old mates.
Brilliant. And also, you're obviously a bolt action man as well.
Yeah, I'm getting ready for another game in September, because the club's shut at the moment. So in September, first game we go back, it's going to be bolt action. So I'm getting some more pin markers done. And that is my latest set of rules, which is The Last Drifters, which is a post-apocalyptic sort of Mad Max type game.
Sweet.
Awesome.
And I've just been painting up some of the cars on that, really. So.
Really nice. Really nice.
Can I just check something? Ken, have you seen Mad Max?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God for that.
No. I mean the original one, not the newer one.
I've seen both.
All right. Sorry, it's just normally we make these references, and I always check the screen to see if Ken's looks, if he knows what's going
If he
on.
goes completely blank, like, what the friggin' hell are you talking about?
No,
Oh
no.
my goodness.
No, we're good.
What have you been up to, Steve? You had your bit of a flat mojo for a while.
Oh,
Just come back, bouncing
that
back
wasn't-
with a vengeance.
that wasn't a pleasant couple of weeks. It was, I don't know, it was deep. It started off with that nightmarish weather, which half killed me. And then I just had no. I sat down. I was like, I just couldn't be arsed doing anything. So I just didn't paint. And but I seem to have broken my malaise, as I think they say. And I've been painting some more bolt action. No prize for guessing what I've been painting.
Yeah, so
It wouldn't be grey in colour, would it? Oh no, it's not grey in colour.
No, it's some more
US Airborne.
some of my US Airborne. I'm slowly getting to the end of this. I've only got 7 figures and 3 vehicles to go. But more kit bashing ahoy with these guys.
Nice.
Very cool.
And then just before we came on tonight, I finished this. The bazooka
Nice.
team.
Very cool.
Very nice.
Really cool, Steve. Love them.
And
That
I'm
looks
really
like
close.
Action Man. The one with the bazooka looks like an Action Man. It's brilliant.
Actually, funny you should mention that. I'm going to do a really small project. When I was younger, many years ago, I used to read the Action Men books, Action Man and G.I. Joe. And there's one called Operation Skydrop, and it would be absolutely perfect for a bolt action, small game of bolt action. It's where G.I. Joe and Action Man are dropped with the British Airborne, and they take refuge in this. There's a hotel called the Kaiserhof, and they're just assaulted by wave of of German soldiers, and it would make a great bolt action scenario. So I've got some British knocking around. I got those Americans. I'm gonna make me Action Man and G.I. Joe in bolt action scale. And then I'm gonna do this scenario. I've got back a couple of sprues of Blitzkrieg Germans, proper old school, Action Man type of thing going on. But yes, but I should also say I've ventured out into something new. I'm doing a bit of Star Wars.
Ooh.
Really?
Old school Star Wars. I think that's what I needed for my painting. I think I just needed to do something different. Step away from historicals for a bit and start doing a bit of mad sci-fi. I think it might freshen things up somewhat. But that's what I've done. And tonight it's more bolt action. I should warn everyone as well. If anyone sees me doing this tonight, it's because I bought some new brushes, and they've got wooden handles, and the smell is so nice. So I might be huffing from the paintbrushes during the course of the evening. So,
Oh my goodness.
it's based on MDF anyway.
I suppose that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose that's true. Oh my goodness. What about you, Kenneth? Have you stopped crying? Can you tell us what you've been up to?
Yeah. Right. Okay. Let's have a little look. For once, I've actually done some stuff. Right. Where are we going? Okay. So first thing this week, I did some hobby organising. All right. Okay. It doesn't look like much, but can you see all my paints are laid out quite nicely?
I approve of that, Ken. I approve of that level of OCD right there.
I'm trying to
know,
work
it's
out
really-
what that is under your radiator. Is that a hat?
No, it's a slipper, and it's actually still there. It's there. Okay, I'll put it back to where it was. Yes, definitely OCD. So yeah, I just made that because all the paints were in there loose. So I had some XPS foam lying about. I used my hobby knife, and I just crafted a little storage system for it because it was doing my nutting. And now I've done that, I want to do that for loads of other things in my in the rest of the drawers. So I'm going to do that instead of buying it. I'm going to make it myself. So that was the first bit. Something a bit different. And sorry, just bear with me. Just
I'll
moving.
find the picture now.
Yeah, I'm just looking for it now. Ta-da! Northumberland.
Oh, well done, mate. Well done.
Yay! He's not based yet
Fantastic.
because I'm waiting for said bases at the moment. But yeah, he's looking good. I'm happy with him. He was quite
Sweet.
fun actually. He's taken me all week to do all three of them because I've taken my time with these. So they're going to be a command base, Perry flag, and a Freezy Water flag for his actual his livery.
Yeah, good job, mate. Really nice. Really nice.
Yeah, bear me 2 seconds. My mic's doing a lot of feedback, isn't it? Just give me a sec.
No, I can't hear it this end.
No?
Been quite clean this end.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. No, that's fine.
Now you sound like you're in a toilet, mate.
Now I sound like I'm in the toilet.
Yeah.
Sake. 2 secs, 2 secs, 2 secs.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know why it does that. Where is it?
Leslie's straight in there with the Stalingrad question.
Oh, go away, Leslie. No, now I've lost the other device wherever that's gone.
Oh, for goodness sake. Well, while he's doing that,
That's
what
right.
you been-
So sorry. Yeah, there's Northumberland. The only thing that I have that I found a bit of difficulty with these was I wanted to do a bit more detail on the horses, but I couldn't work out how per se. And I think I'm going to have to do some layering on the horses. But if I do it for those, I'm going to have to do it for all. That means I won't be doing any cavalry units because I'm not layering 12 cavalry. I'll do 3 for nice detail, but I can't just do 3 and leave the rest out. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think of them? You think they're all right?
Yeah, I know. Wicked.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, really,
Yeah.
good, mate.
Wicked.
Really good job. Yeah,
Oh, cool. Happy days then. I'm happy.
nicely done. Nicely done.
And that was
Hey,
me.
Now you need the rest of his retinue, mate.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Yeah. So I'm painting these in a minute. The little epic buggers.
On the epic stuff.
I'm doing a battalion. I'm doing a regiment of these, and then I'll go back to like doing one Lord of the Rings model, and then it will be back to Wars of Roses.
Brilliant. Excellent job. What about you, Martin? What have you been up to?
I have been editing a lot of videos, but no, I've been painting more War of the Roses as well. Would it surprise you if I said that?
Not really. No.
So I've just finished the latest unit, which is this lot here, which is a bill and bow unit for John Neville, Marquis Montague. So these are ones where I've just kind of just tried to make them look cool and just do different things with them. So I've done, again, you just mix all the boxes together. Just try some stuff with the Griffin heraldry, something a bit different there. And then these guys here, the ones that put the bolt action heads on the bodies.
They do work.
Yeah, you need to push them up a little bit. You need to put like a little blob of green stuff or that underneath them, just like a tiny thing, just to raise them up a little bit, because otherwise they look like they're all hunched. But if you do that, you'll be all right. And then tonight I'm working on, so that's the base for John Neville. So I'm just working on his base, and I'm working on some handgunners as well that I've got kicking around. So not loads of painting, but I've been getting quite a lot of games, which is obviously cool. So after so long for not being able to get games, every time an opportunity to have one comes up, I can't really turn it down. So that's the thing. But yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Sweet. Really, really good. There's some lovely figures there. And Carl said, Ken, your video on the French was great. Well done, mate.
Oh, cheers. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I did that as well. I actually managed to edit something together for that. So, yeah, happy days.
Dom, some people have said in the chat they've had some problems actually finding the stream tonight. What's?
Yeah, I don't know why that is. That's really weird.
Can people let us know what the problem was? What was it missing? Was it not show up in subscriptions or anything like that? Be interesting to know why it didn't show up.
Because it was set up plenty in advance, so it should have been weird.
Yeah, I do think it was a bit quiet to start with.
It was a bit quiet starting, wasn't it? Yeah, very odd. Yes, if you could let us know, that'd be really cool when we find out what the problem was and try and rectify it.
The obviously I was on.
Yeah, there was a bit of censorship. Was that what it was? I've carried on with my Wars of the Roses projects. So there's a few more of them. So there you go. Martin, who's that?
That's Exeter.
Yeah. That's Exeter.
We're doing Kiss the Flag.
It's all Exeter, so it's not going to be easy, is it, really? So there's a men-at-arms unit to go with him, so that gives me 3 for his retinue, I think. And I thought I'd do with the boy himself. So
You need to have the guys behind him actually pointing their weapons at him.
Well, if you look, the guy with the halberd is swinging it rather towards his head. Can't quite see it. Anyway, yeah, oops, slipped. Oh dear. But then I thought I'd do some cavalry, so I went back and did some cavalry. I used some different. I used some different mud on the base. I'm not sure I like it as much. It's a bit too crowded. I might have to strip it off. But anyway, that was done. And you can't beat a gun, can you? So I ought to do a gun as well. So
big gun.
Big gun. Well, it's actually a little gun. I've got the big one somewhere else to play with. But yeah, that was my fun and games this week. I really enjoyed it. Loving this project. Although disaster, I ran out of bases.
I know. That's the problem.
I went dipping into my box of bases to find the right ones, and there was none there.
So you've actually run out of something?
Yeah, I know. I know.
I'm at the wow. You legitimately have a reason to buy it.
That should have been greeted with like a clash of thunder or something. Dom runs out of something.
Don't worry, I've ordered enough to keep me going for the next 20
I was going to say that was a portent of the end of the world. So I think we're all safe, lads.
You could.
I had to go and say a penance to Brother Eldridge, obviously.
Yeah, you did. You could always glue the 2 bases together to make the 65 by thingy, couldn't you?
That's what I did with the artillery piece, because that was actually too big to go on a 60 by 45. So
okay,
made it a bit bigger. But yes, indeed. Oh, well, here you go. So it wasn't showing up as a reminder. Okay, interesting. Wonder why that is. Oh well. Oh, hopefully it'll show. Everyone will get to it. If not, those people watching on the replay. Which thank you very much for everybody who does watch on the replay. We'll catch it. Did I set the date for the 27th? Apparently I set for the...
Oh
well. I'm sorry if I did cock it up. It's entirely possible because I have a tendency to do that. Anyway, right. Let's get over this. Thank you very much for all the comments in there. Oh shit, there's so many comments coming in. Right, Mac.
Yes.
Mac, guest of honor tonight. Thank you very much for coming on. Much appreciated. So I thought it would be really interesting to talk to somebody from South London Warlords about how Salute runs. For those from the other side of the pond, I saw Travis in the chat and some other people I know don't necessarily come over to London or to the UK to shows and what have you, but Salute's, I would say, it is the premier wargaming show now in the UK, isn't it? Matt,
yeah.
Say that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some people say that. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly the biggest independent game show or wargaming show anyway. There's a few bigger shows in and around, but I mean, the UK Expo is, I think it's 20-something thousand meters or something stupid, so it's a little bit bigger than ours. I think we're up to 16,000 this year, so. I mean, it's been around a while. It's one of the old ones, anyway.
It's one of the originals, that's for sure. We were talking about it before you came on. It's I remember it back in the old Kensington Town Hall days when it was still a pretty big show even then, but it was sort of it didn't feel as big. And then you moved out to XL, and it got very big.
We sort of rented everywhere we could in the town hall. We just ran out of space, really. We had the library, we had the like the main hall, and had all the rooms off of that, and I mean, it was just too much. I mean, we needed somewhere, and we went to Olympia too, so that was the first place we went.
Shring says, does Mac remember the first South London Warlords event back in 78, 79 in a hall in London?
No, I mean, the original show was like 1972, I think it was, but that was at the Surrey Tavern, a little bit before my time. I sort of, first one I saw was 78, 79, I think it was 79, Kensington.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been in the club about 24 years. So it's going back about that sort of time. So.
Blimey.
But it has moved around a lot. It's got slightly bigger, obviously, over the time. I mean, Olympia 2, we started off on one floor. We then had the donut. I don't know if anyone remembers Olympia 2. You have a donut upstairs. We had all of that, the rooms at the back. We then went into the basement. It just got too big. We just couldn't run it in the hall anymore. So we moved over to XL.
That must have been a hell of a challenge, because it's just a big empty space, isn't it? So, I mean, it's just like an empty warehouse, and you have to try and make it exciting. And
I mean, you're right. I mean, it is like an air raid hangar, like an aircraft hangar. It's just ridiculous. But I mean, I was just helping when we first went there. I mean, I did the second year, I think it was there. So, I mean, it was certainly a massive change from being in Olympia anyway. Even that, like, carpeted, it felt sort of, more homely if nothing else. I mean, it was nicer on your feet for walking around all day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always an issue trying to make it, visitor friendly, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Rather than just being a massive hangar. I mean, it's very hard. I mean, it's some of the shows in there, they spend, the traders in something like, I don't know, like the Ideal Home Exhibition type stuff, they build these huge stands for the people to walk around in. I mean, it changes the venue totally. But obviously, the guys that, a lot of the smaller companies are they're working from their garage or their shed in the garden. When they come to the salute rather, they're just going to be just an odd few bits and pieces on a table. Like, you do get big traders and stuff, and they always put big stands, but it's not really the same. It's really hard to get that nice atmosphere, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I think it's a great show, but I think that was one of the criticisms I know of some of the old timers like me when we first went there. It's like, oh my god, it feels like you're just walking into a warehouse, and there's, because it is. I've been to many a trade show down there, and as you say, people spend thousands, tens and hundreds of thousands on these massive stands to make them look like they're big, and of course, in the wargaming community, that's not really, if you get a banner up, that's about as good as it gets, really. So it kind of, but then it is full of goodness and full of really good stuff. So interesting. So when did you start getting involved in it? When do you get roped into? You're the coordinator, aren't you?
Yeah, for my sins, coordinator for the show from. This is my 13th year.
Bloody hell!
It's unlucky,
Suck
isn't
up
it?
the punishment, aren't you? Jeez. Yeah, it's not like there was a world, problem or anything went wrong to 13 years.
Yeah, no, I've been on committee 21. I think it's 21, 22 years. So started off first year as treasurer for 4 or 5 years, and social secretary and all sorts of bits and pieces. But finally, I was conned into taking this position. Yeah, everyone take a step forward, like everyone else move backwards. Yeah. It's been 13 years. It's hard work. Let's put it that way. There's no way you can say it any other way than that. It's just hard work. There's a huge amount of organisation. There's a ton of paperwork and meetings and making sure everything's in the right place at the right time.
So in a normal year, when one finishes, do you go straight into planning for the next one, or is there a break? How long?
We're getting requests from the traders on the day. Put us down for next year, will you? That's right. So it starts. I mean, it starts literally the same day as the show's on. I'm normally signing the contracts for the following year. Well, we're 3 years in front at the moment, so
wow.
So I won't be signing any contracts this year. So it's slightly low, but normally I sign a contract on the day of salute for at least 2 year rolling contracts. So it doesn't stop basically all the way through obviously the COVID and stuff like that. It's been slightly more difficult. It's been harder to get. It's been harder to get sort of meetings and stuff, obviously with Excel and that, and trying to find dates and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure that question will come up at some point. I mean, we tried to work out how many, like, each of us puts into the show, like how many hours. One of the guys says he does about 200 hours. yeah, I'd probably do slightly more than that. But
It's like a month's work, isn't it? It's crazy. That's crazy.
it is. Yeah,
it's even more, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I sort of building up to the show. I'll have sort of 2 or 3 hours every night working through emails, checking with suppliers, checking with reenactors, or other stuff like that. So just to make sure, everything's going to happen when it's supposed to happen or whatever. So
yeah, because I think it was you I emailed a couple of years ago when we were going to do it last year about doing like press stuff, like getting access and stuff like that. I don't know if it's yourself I spoke to.
Did I give you a good reply? If it was,
you did give me a good reply. Yeah, it was a good reply. It was a very good reply.
That was me then. Yes.
Yeah.
I get. I mean, I don't remember, man. I'm sorry, but I get.
That's all right.
I get lots and lots of requests, obviously, for like sort of press passes and stuff like that. So, that includes like podcasters and blog writers and stuff like that. So, I get, I don't know, 30 odd, maybe more every year. So, we try to help. We try to give tickets where we can. Obviously, any advertising, whether that's good or bad, is good for the show, if that makes sense. So,
yeah, definitely.
So even if we get someone that comes in that doesn't like Salute, but at least they give us some sort of feedback of some sort. It's good.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Question here from Crossing Obstacles. He says, for someone who hasn't been to Salute, where have you been? Is it mostly gaming, or is it more traders? How many people go there, etc.? Give us a sense of scale on a normal year, Mac. Of how many traders, how many people?
Traders and games is quite easy. Traders, we get on average about 180. We're about 107. I've got it written down. We're about 173 traders booked in at the moment. We had a few increased sizes, so we limited what we could do. Also, because of issues with the COVID and stuff like that, we're having to sort of spread the show out a little bit more, if that makes sense. Yeah. So we had to take it, so it's a little bit less than previous years. Game wise, we normally cap it about 80, 85. I think so. 219 was last year. Yeah. So last show was, I think we had 90 games. So this year we got a little bit less. We got quite a few cancels. We're down to about 70 games. I think is this year, 73, 74 games. And visitors through the door. I think we're steadily Normally we go up a little bit each year. We were up to about 6,200 people through the door on a day. So including traders, including games, you're talking over 7,000 people in there in the day. This year, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Ticket wise, we're not doing too bad. We've got about 1,500 tickets sold so far. That's steadily growing every single day. It's only like about a dozen a day, but it's still going up. So I think hopefully people will get more confidence as we get closer to the time.
2019 was my first time I've ever gone to Salute. That was my first ever show. Cool. It just blew my mind because I'd never been to like a game show, and I walked through the door and I was like, holy hell, it's just literally full of. I looked to my left, there's like terrain. I looked to my right, there's like traders, and then I look straight in front, there's your game going on, and I'm like, I've come home. I was like, this is where I belong. I feel actually like I belong somewhere, and that's what's really nice about wargaming. Because I only went on my own as well. I didn't even know these lot. I didn't even know any of these.
I thought you belonged in the cloister, or did you escape there?
But cheers.
I imagine Ken wandering in, just going, and there's some heavenly angels coming down, and he went, I'm surrounded by geeks and people like me who love all this plastic stuff. It's great.
It's amazing. And then it turned into a typical Ken mode. I was like, right, where's the freebies? So I got a few. I was waiting for that.
Mr. Freebie.
You would have got some in your goodie bag as you walked through.
I got the model. It was the one with the dog, wasn't it? It's like the Wasteland.
The Wasteland.
And I've got some Salute dice, yellow dice. They're my actual dice I use.
Cool.
You've got another Salute one. I sent you that Archer because for some reason I had two.
Yes.
The Agincourt.
Yeah.
British guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, Crossing obviously hasn't been. He said there's tournaments or demo games. So you've never run tournaments as such at Salute, have you? Is that a deliberate thing, or have you ever thought about doing it? It's all demos and participation, isn't it?
It's one word: space.
Yeah.
You know, in a hall like Excel, Central London, you can imagine the rent on that place is it's silly. There's Ken's Cathedral, yeah, I like that. I just reading the comments come up. Yeah, I know. But the biggest we ever did, or the only tournament that I can ever remember, was one year at Olympia 2. We did a Wizards of the Coast came, and they did a Magic the Gathering tournament. And there was something like 200 people downstairs playing, obviously, Magic and throwing their paper everywhere, all their little, because they opened the booster packs or whatever, so the paper was all over the place. So we got charged about 400 quid for clear out. That was nice. Yeah, because that stops with me, by the way. Every time anyone makes a mess, I get the bill for it. So.
Of course.
Yeah, no, it really is down to space. I mean, you get like the queuing hall now is like something like 4,000 square meters. They gave us that because they kept complaining we were blocking off the whole boulevard. No one could get to the vendors for the food and stuff like this. So I said, well, fine, give me somewhere I can queue. So they give me basically free of charge a 4,000 square meter queuing hall because wargamers take up a lot of space.
They're generally not slim gentlemen, are they?
With the backpacks on as well. So
I have my backpack. It's great.
I'm not surprised. I'm surprised you don't just have like a trolley, Ken. That you just
don't give him ideas, Martin, for crying out loud.
I'm just glad there wasn't a bring and buy because oh my god, how I would have got that back to the car. Dear God.
Oh my goodness me.
Ken, do you know what these bring and buys? Do you bring or do you just buy?
I just buy, and if it's the problem is I buy for systems I'm not even going to play. I just see it's really cheap, so I look online. I'm like, wow, that's discounted a lot. I'll have that. Wow, that's really discounted. I'll have that. I'm not even going to play this game. What is this? Like, oh, I'm so bad.
Oh, jeez.
Consumerism at its worst.
I'll have to find a picture. I swear I did a video of it once, but when I went to what's the other one? Reading.
Colours.
No,
Warfare.
Yeah, Warfare. I went to that bring and buy, and the back of my car was full, and I mean full of models. Literally, I came home, Laura went mental.
Why am I not surprised?
She went, "What have you done?" I went, "It's all right. It's all for Christmas." You ain't got to do any shopping.
Bloody hell! I think the last year it ran. I remember getting there. I must have timed it really wrong because you just sort of have to time it just either when it's just opened, and so that you don't have to queue up with everybody else. So there's massive great queue. Like you say, it's like a holding pen, and I've never seen it's like. The barrier opens or whoever it is, the tape goes away and everyone charges forward towards the most things. It's amazing. Nobody gets trampled. It's extraordinary. If wargamers could move quicker,
hopefully they don't charge.
No, it's not quite like that. It's hilarious.
We tend to go and get a coffee now. We stand there and get a coffee and we watch everybody else charge their way through. Then we have a coffee and then we walk through just a little bit later.
If you can just time it about half an hour after it opens, I always think that's better. Anyway, yeah, brilliant. I love it. So, oh God, I've lost my train of thought there. I was thinking all this stuff about cathedrals and trolleys. So let's talk about this year then. I mean, geez, what obviously didn't happen last year because of, as we know, COVID and the situation. Also, XL was turned into an emergency hospital, which kind of would have been rather awkward to run a show round. So, at what point did you discover that it was going to be feasible to run this year, and obviously then how difficult it was to find a date because it's now.
Sorry, there's a child moving. I'll be back in a minute.
Because you're now November, aren't you? So
yeah, it was interesting. Obviously, XL have been trying to get us to restart the show. Probably about August they wanted. We just felt, myself definitely, that was too soon. We didn't want to do August. I mean, this month, come on, that would be ridiculous. I know the UK Games Expo just literally this weekend's just gone on. But
yeah.
I still think it's too soon for me anyway, personally. So I was more for as late as I could. So we had a few meetings in between the last couple of lockdowns, at a distance, obviously, trying to knock out some dates that we could do. We found that September was full. They offered us a couple almost on Christmas. It was just too much. So that wouldn't have been ever a good idea. So November sort of came up as a possible. I think it was the 23rd or the 25th we were given originally, which we didn't realise at the time clashed with another show basically. So we spoke to them. I'm trying to remember what the name of the show was now. Sorry, man.
Is it Warfare?
Probably Warfare if it's in.
Yeah, no. 25th November was Ascot. There's the Reading one.
Yeah, that's Warfare.
That's Warfare that moved it. Yeah.
So we sort of had a chat with them. Obviously, they can't move it and that. So okay, we try and find another date. So the only date we could find was the 13th. So
right.
So it's 13th of November. Hopefully, we're hoping, obviously, and I'm hoping that by that time, things should have. I'm sure it was not going to be totally right, but it's going to settle down a lot better than what it is now. Hopefully, that's obviously what we're all planning on, and everything else, talking with Excel and stuff like that. So, it's been emails by the thousands basically over this 18 months or whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I can imagine.
I mean, because obviously it's not just the venue; it's all our suppliers as well. It's all the reenactors, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got 2 1-to-1 scale airplanes coming.
Wow.
So it was trying to make sure that they could still come. So, and of course, we did change the date and everything else and settled on it the 25th. And then we said, no, we can't do that one. So it had to be the 13th. So everybody had to be changed again. And the suppliers, like for chairs and tables and screens and all of that sort of stuff, is they were good enough to say we can postpone. There's no problem at all. We'll do whatever date you want. So they've been great.
Brilliant.
That would be a mess if we couldn't get tables.
Yeah, that'd be a slight problem.
Would be a slight problem, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. So sorry, Ken, you carry
No,
on.
I was going to say, I'm not going to lie, I literally can't wait. I just, honestly, I was so gutted when it got cancelled, obviously, because of COVID and all that. It's just, I'd taken time off work, I changed my own call around. I've done it again for this one. I'm so excited. I love game shows, absolutely love them. They're just awesome.
Ken is like a little puppy dog bouncing around.
Massively.
So excited. We had this discussion between, I think it might even have been on one of the streams between various lockdowns about would we feel comfortable going to a show, and the rest of us going maybe in a bit, maybe is when tomorrow, I'm there, here's my money, go. Hey, brilliant. So I mean, this year obviously there's going to be all kinds of issues. Have you got a sort of maximum number of visitors or is it, have you thought, I mean, I saw there was a big debate going on in the US about vaccinated, proof of vaccinations and whether you have to wear masks and all this sort of stuff. I mean, what's the plan to keep people, because obviously confidence is going to be a big thing, right? So some people are just not going to feel comfortable going. Some people like Ken will go even if the world was coming to an end, and then other people maybe a bit more sort of a little nervous about things. What kind of steps are you going to put in place for it this year?
Good questions. I mean, they've been talking in this country as well as America about nightclubs and stuff. And if you don't, they were talking about it. It's not been settled, obviously, but
no.
You need to produce proof that you've had the 2 vaccinations. It's an option. Basically, what we have done so far that we can do is that we've increased the show up to 16,000 square meters. So normally at 14. We got to 16,000 to give us some more space. So we've increased the aisles as much as we can, basically in between.
Yeah.
To give a bit more space in between the trade stands and the games and stuff like that. I've been talking to suppliers for hand sanitizers, stuff like that. So we'll have those on the doors, and it's little things, but it's something that we can do.
Yeah.
You see, at that point, I'm guessing that face masks and stuff would be like it is now, optional. Be down to personal preference whether they feel safe or not to wear face masks and stuff, or the need to wear face masks. Sorry. But everything will be down to what the government says. It's what restrictions or what they suggest happens, what we will have to follow, if that makes sense. We'll have to follow. And that will be in discussions with Excel. Obviously, I've got a team of guys that I talk to at Excel, and they will obviously be running shows between now and then anyway. So it's down to what they recommend or say that we have to do. What that will be, your guess is as good as mine. I mean, it changes from day to day at the moment. The way I'm not going to get political, but the way the government go at the moment, it could be anything. I mean, it really can. So
and that's a hell of a thing for you to organise, to manage to deal with. I know we're some way off, but as you say, things could change any time.
That's right. So it's fingers crossed, and saying lots of prayers, asking Ken for help.
Don't worry, I pray every night. Don't you worry about that. That it goes ahead. I'm worried about CrackCon, let alone Salute. Jesus. Oh man.
Oh my God. It's frightening. Oh, Matt says, great to see Mac on the podcast. Always a gent when you saw him involve action stuff in Dark Sphere. There you go.
Yeah, cool.
So, I mean, I can only imagine what a blooming nightmare it has been, this whole process. How many people work on Salute generally?
What do you mean, like from
in
South
terms
London
of planning it and setting in the run up? I mean, obviously on the day you got loads and loads of people involved, but
yeah, I mean, again, on the day we don't even know how we're going to be for staff yet. So, I mean, it's another huge issue that obviously we've got to try and tackle between now and then. Normally we get something like 90 odd people volunteering from other clubs as well. We get other clubs come in and help us. So it's a lot of manpower on the day.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, I suppose, obviously myself get most years I get two other people helping me directly as the team, if that makes sense. One will deal with traders, one will deal with gamers. Other than that, obviously we've got a full committee of about, I think it's another 13 people or something stupid. It's quite a big committee, but there's a lot of stuff to do. So, we have like PR officer does all an assistant, they do all of the merchandising, sort of working with designers and stuff like that, or for sculptors and things for the figure, because obviously the figure's got to be done. So you've got a designer for that or sculptor for that, then you've got someone to produce it or come to it. So everything's got to be organised in that sense. Normally it's, you guys do this and come back to me if there's any problem, basically. That's what I have to do. And obviously if I don't hear from somebody for a while, I have to wonder what's going on and chase
alarm bells start going off.
I mean, touch wood, it's been fairly good over the years, so it's a fairly good team. We've been doing it for a while, so
I was going to say, speaking of figure, any chance getting a little insight maybe to what it is this year, or a little hint for theme?
Yeah, I mean, you probably would have seen it in Miniature Wargames, I think, because it was in there. It's a boy with a little aeroplane. So
right, okay, cool.
It's a 40mm figure. The boy's in like shorts and stuff, schoolboy uniform, running along with an aeroplane in his hand.
Oh, smart.
It's a brilliant figure. But I mean, it's probably not a playable figure, but it's a lovely figure though. So I mean, it'd be great on a little statue or something or whatever.
You could sneak it in games, can you? Like as a civilian model or something like that.
Yeah, it's a little bit big. It comes to 40mm.
40 mil. Oh, it's 40.
It's 40 mils.
Oh, okay. No, Leslie could. Leslie plays everything in bigger scale, doesn't he? So
yeah, I mean, it is a lovely figure, but
well, that'd be nice to paint, actually. To be fair, that's quite cool because obviously I've never painted anything 40mm size, so to paint something a bit bigger would actually be quite interesting. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously every year is quite interesting trying to find the right figure for it. Obviously, 2020 should have 2020. Yeah, 2020.
Yeah.
2020 should have been the Battle of Britain was the theme. So
so
you've got. Mugs like that. I don't know if you can see it. So,
Oh.
you're going to focus?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's going to be a collector's item.
So, yeah.
The show that never happened.
Yeah, so obviously, you know, we've got a few £1,000 worth of merchandising that's got 2020 written on it. So it's
Hey, I'll buy it.
it's going to be a very strange year. So, yeah, I mean, one of the things we put into place to stop that happening is that we're actually not calling it 2022 or 20 whatever,
Right.
23 in Bridge. Next year is going to be Salute 50 because that's the 50th show. So,
Right.
as in 2022 will be Salute 50.
So all things being well, you'll be going back to your normal date line next year.
Yeah, I mean, we had a few long discussions about it. We were originally looking at going back in June.
Mm-hmm.
That was to give us time to run a second show right on top of another show, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that again causes issues with other shows around about that time. Obviously, we've always been in April, so our slot is always around the early April, mid-April.
Mm.
So we decided after a lot of discussion that we're going to go back in April in 2022.
Yes.
It's the 9th of April, in case anyone's interested.
9th of April.
Oh,
okay.
I'm so glad you didn't say the 11th thing, because that's my missus' birthday.
My missus on the 12th, so it couldn't be that day either. Yeah, so 9th of April. Basically, what we're doing is we're running 2022 now, so all the work for 2022 is going on now.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I'm doing all the letters for 2022. I'm doing all the invites, all the other bits and pieces, because I do those because it's quicker than me getting a designer in to do them for the following year. So that lot's been done now, being proofread because I always make mistakes. And they will go out probably within the next couple of weeks or so to all the traders, all the games.
Wow.
The traders know, because we've obviously spoke to all the traders saying this is what we're going to do. We won't be looking for money yet because that's just ridiculous. They've got a show that hasn't even happened. We're not going to be looking for money for the next show. So they'll have a big window before they need to worry about dealing with that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
So effectively, you're almost running two shows on top
yeah,
of each other at the
we
moment.
are running two shows on top of each other. So yeah, a few more headaches over the next few weeks. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, it's going to be. Thanks for reminding me about that.
Mac only is only 21, really.
Yeah. Again. Yeah, 21.
It's extraordinary. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, all the letters will go out to all the traders and stuff. I'll be now talking to the suppliers this year. I'll be talking to them again, like giving them the date for the following year. You know, can they do it, etc., etc. So. Yeah, so it's two lots of work going over the next couple of months.
So if people want to get involved in regards to doing games or like traders that haven't ever been to Salute, how do they go about doing that? What do they have to do?
They normally contact me, obviously through our website. The coordinators, obviously, my email address comes through to me, should say. Or it'll be, you know, they'll contact someone on Facebook or whatever, and then they'll point them towards me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I then hand them over to the guy that deals with trades that year. I mean, whenever it is, or games that year.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. I mean, space, as you can imagine, is a premium. If we was in, I don't know, maybe sort of Northern England or whatever, or maybe Wales or somewhere where it wasn't as expensive. Yeah, you could probably get as many as you wanted in the show. You know, how many turn up. But we have to get in all of the people that are interested, and then we go through and make a first come first serve most of the time. There is a couple of exceptions in long time traders and stuff like that. We don't give favouritism. Don't get me wrong. It's not that. It's just that you have to have enough traders to pay for the hall.
Yeah.
And also you have to weigh all that up with the logistics of getting 300 traders in or 170. 170 we can do on a Friday morning and Saturday morning. 300, it's not going to happen. We've only got a one-day show. We only get a limited time to actually set up on the Friday. You know, by the time the table's set up at about 12 o'clock, we then normally do a last-minute check about 12:30 on a Friday afternoon. We start opening the doors for the traders then till about 4:30. So it's a tiny window.
Yeah.
And then it's 7 till 9 on a Saturday morning for traders to come in or games to come in. So you have to. I mean, people have said, "Oh, you could, rent more space. More space you got, the more people you get into it." It doesn't work like that. It's just, physically getting that many people in with the trucks.
I can imagine.
One of the traders comes with free Arctics. It's, stock. Free Arctics come in with just stock. There's about 40 people come in a minibus to run the stand. So,
you can probably guess which one that is, but yeah. but so is that one of the reasons that you don't do 2 days? Because it's where it is in London?
Part of it, possibly, yeah, part of it. I mean, the expenses on that, the hall hire alone, I think this year is something like 70k.
Wow.
You stick onto that. I think this year is about 25,000 for the hire of tables, chairs, screens, stuff like that. You're already talking 100k already. 2 days, I don't know. It would kill me anyway. Yeah, I know there's a few people that probably don't like me enough that they probably want me to do it, but no, it's just no way. You're dead. Honestly, we did 1 year. What was the year of the Zulu one? 2009. 2009, they had the Festival of Light in Excel. Where 40,000 people came in to do the celebration. I'm sure Ken was there as well. It was a big church thing, and
probably.
Basically, we lost our opportunity of actually set up on the Friday. We had to do it overnight. So we stayed there from Friday all through Friday night, all through to Sunday. I left there about 11 o'clock Saturday night. It's fun. But even on a normal weekend, like the Friday and the Saturday, it's too much, man. It's like I normally get out of there. I do a D-lap with Excel about 10 o'clock in the Saturday night, going around making sure that there's no damage to the hall, etc. Because obviously any damage, any rubbish that's there, we get billed for. So I have to go around and make sure everything like that's all done. So I've been there since 6:30, whatever it is, in the morning. I've probably had about an hour's sleep because I'm still dealing with things on a Friday night. So yeah, it's 2 days. There's no way I couldn't do it, man.
I can imagine.
It's not a two-day show. It would have to be a different style of show, I think, to do 2 days.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like one big bang from 10 o'clock till 5 o'clock. It's full on from one. I don't stop from, say, about 6 o'clock, about 6, whatever it is, by the time I get there. We open the doors for the traders about 7-ish, and the gamers, obviously, to count the remainder of the stuff that didn't get in on the Friday. So they come in and then I'm fighting fires basically all the time, all day long, basically. So things that are going wrong, I'm the one that gets called, basically. So everyone said, "Oh, you have a dinner tonight?" Yeah, right. I'll get a dinner on Sunday. So it's not going to happen. I have plenty of coffees. That's all I get. You'll see me in my Illuminous T-shirt that the buggers that do the design will always give me. Just so I can't hide.
So you can't hide away. They know exactly where you are.
So if you see Mac at Salute, bring him a beer. Basically.
Yeah, bring him a beer. Yeah,
coffee will be better.
Oh my goodness! So I'm conscious we talked at you for quite a long time, Max. So I'll give you a bit of a break. I'm interested in the chat as well. Some people have already been saying it about, what was. Have you been to Salute? What was your first memory of it? And, what's your best memory of Salute? I know Ken's is just getting his shopping trolley ready and just going completely bananas. There you go. Leslie said first went to Salute when I was at Kensington Town Hall. Yeah, I did. I put on a game at Kensington Town Hall with a couple of mates. It was great fun. In fact, there was a question there, which we'll come back to, Mac, but somebody was asking how do you go about, if you want to put on a game at Salute, how do you go about it? But yeah, I'd love to know from people in the chat what their first memories are of going to Salute or any other wargaming show for that matter. Because I'm guessing, Steve, you're up north, so you've probably never been to Salute, have you?
No, it's too much of a trek. I've not been to London since 2005, and for a small town northerner like me, it was a bit of an overwhelming experience. But no, it's just the logistics. It's the travelling, and I'm monumentally lazy.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You do get people coming from all over Europe, though, don't you? Particularly to go Salute. I see a lot of French people and Spanish and what have you there. I hear a lot of different languages spoken around the hall. It's amazing.
I mean, I think in 2019 we saw a couple came in from Hong Kong.
Wow.
We've had them in from Australia as well. A couple of years we've had people come in they come for their holidays. They don't come just for the day, honestly.
No, I don't go just to Salute. Even Ken wouldn't do that. Well, I know maybe you would actually.
I mean, I get a dozen. I get about a dozen or so every year emails from people in America because obviously they have to arrange their holidays through the year, if that makes sense. Slightly different than British guys do, whatever British people do. And they'll ask when Salute's on so they can arrange their holidays so they can be here for that weekend. We get them from all over the world, basically.
I feel bad now. I can't even jump on a train 2 hours down to London.
It's probably cheaper to come from across the world than it is to train from up north.
I know. That is a definite thing.
Yeah.
It's quite easy to walk. I'll set off 4.5 months before. I'll set off tomorrow.
Yeah. I was even stingy. I got a National Express.
So we're quite lucky. We're only 45 minutes away. So
you are easy. How many have you been to, Martin? What was your
first one I went to was in 2012, I think. And then I've been to every one. Obviously, last year didn't happen. And then, but 2016, I didn't get to go because I had to go to the antenatal class for my daughter, which was just inconsiderate.
I would have very passed on that. And said,
I could not, believe it or not, I couldn't get out of that. But what I did have was my friend sending me lots of pictures from Salute while I was sitting in this room with all these heavily pregnant women and learning about all of the wonderful things that I was going to experience in a couple of months' time in the birthing chambers or whatever they're called. Which sounds a bit odd.
Heading down a line I wasn't expecting.
Yeah. No, I think my overriding memory of Salute is Dead Man's Hand. Because that's where I bought into it. Because I remember the year that I bought into it, they positioned themselves quite cleverly near the door. Their stall was quite a long way back, but they had a little table near the door, which they would just come. They had stickers, and they were like, "Oh, come kill some zombies. You're a cowboy," and they just came through, and that's how I got suckered into it. And then I left with all of the stuff. That was how I remember, and that's why now I live to like just get more and more people into it because it just worked really well. But I don't know. I just love. I just like wandering around. Although I always get really stressed out at the start because I don't know which way to go. Always get. Do I go left or do I go right?
Or do you go straight to a stand you think you want to be at?
Yeah.
Or do you? Yeah, I'm the same. I'm exactly the same.
Yeah. And what happens is I normally do a circuit and then I've calmed down a bit. And then like right, Perry's. They're there. You know, that's how it happens.
Yeah, I saw. I think it was SJM said something about it. It's like you start with a shopping list of what you want. You're very, very disciplined and have a look at a few things that you really want to have a look at. Then you go to the pub at lunchtime, have a couple of beers, and come back in and go completely bananas. And suddenly you're trying to sneak stuff into the house at the end of the day. That's what I do as well.
I know that happened to me when me and mate did our annual pilgrimage to Warlord HQ. I literally went with a list. I need this. I don't need anything outside of these four corners. Nothing's going to make me buy. Yeah, I came away with the whole Australian army. I didn't even go down with the only thing on that list was winter German stuff, and that was it. No, came away with an entire Australia. In fact, I think I bought apart from the Beauforts, every Australian option that Warlord was selling at the time.
I did that with the Chindits, and then I sold them.
Have you ever wondered why I have so many Hanoverians? Like
Yeah.
in my what I've got so it's because we went down there for a game for my mate's birthday, and then because I think we were like the only two people there, so we went, oh, do you want to come around the factory? And oh, okay, all right. So we went around there, and there was just this big bucket of sprues because they just finished a sprue sale. So and they're all the Hanoverians, and I said, oh, how much? They went, well, we'll just do them £1. So I was just buying. I just came out with. That's why I've just got a completely uneven number of Hanoverians because I've just got basically a Tesco's bag full of sprues.
God.
That was the same. We went down. It was a Saturday morning, and for like an hour and a half, we were literally the only people in the shop. It was quite good, actually. not the spending, the inordinate, ungodly amount of money I spent that day. If I had kids, they wouldn't have been eaten for the following week because I'd spent it all on metal figures.
Dear, oh dear.
Unbelievable. Reminder that we are sponsored by our mate Jim at reapergames.co.uk. Get over there and spend your money. If he hasn't got it on sale, he can generally get it for you if it's Warlords and Reaper and not Reaper, Mantic, that's the one, and Perry's, of course, at 20% off. If you wait till the end of the show, there'll be a 10% code giving you another 10% off. What have we got here? Benjamin says first memory of going to any wargaming show was the Danish Military History Society. I can't even pronounce that. Doing their annual exhibition at the Danish War Museum back in the early 90s. Huge Waterloo diorama. Yeah, that's I remember as a kid, or very young, going to Salute or any wargaming show, and it's just like all these possibilities, all these wonderful things. It's just brilliant. It's like Howard Carter opening the tomb. It's like full of wonderful things. Although it does cost a fortune. I think it was the year before. Must have been the year before it shut down. I went to Salute and I saw for the first time Atlantis miniatures, and I had never seen anything quite so beautiful. And it was the same time as Saga Age of Magic was out. And I thought I had to have some of the beasties, so I bought a couple of beasties. And then, of course, they did a Kickstarter and ended up costing me even more money. So yeah, that was one of my early memories. But yeah, I think I've been to Salute. Well, I said it back to, I can't even remember what year it was, but it was Kensington Town Hall. Used to troop up there and have a great day looking around. Although I think one of the early times I went up there, as I think most people do, they take their other halves at one point to a show, and generally it's early in a relationship. They'll go along, and my wife, she wasn't my wife at the time, came with me to Kensington Town Hall. And of course, the problem with Kensington Town Hall is that it's a lot of very expensive shops along there. It cost me a fortune because she found some sofa in that big department store just over the road from there, which she and another friend of mine's girlfriend went off and had a look round, and we ended up buying a sofa. That was expensive.
Dom, did you do the mathematical equation of how many figures were? So how many figures equals one sofa?
Do you know what? I was crying, Steve. I was literally crying. It was like you could have had a whole army. You could have had 15 armies. You could have had 20 armies for that, just for the deposit. Jeez.
You made the foolish mistake of taking your other half. I will never make.
Well,
that
to be honest, she never showed any inclination to go again, which is great.
Well, she didn't. She had a new bloody sofa, didn't she?
No, exactly. And I was very relieved because it didn't cost me any more money. Well, obviously, it cost me a load of money because I buy my own addiction, not her stuff. So
the thing is, my other half's first gaming event is going to be our gaming event, and because she's the one who's got the powerful spreadsheet which says what everyone's doing and what they can eat, we need her there.
I think she's more excited than anybody else, actually.
Yeah. Martin, remember, no anchovies on my pizza, please.
Oh,
he wants anchovies. She has put that down on there.
Anchovies.
I preferred Dom. Dom, what was your dietary requirement?
Just anything not French.
I really hope there's a camembert pizza. I really hope that.
I'm only saying that for Leslie. Although, Leslie, well done, mate. Thank you very much. 64 watching. Only 25 likes. Thank you. Please whack it on. I have mentioned those watching tomorrow, but it was probably at the very beginning when nobody was paying attention, mainly because...
You should watch it, because there was a cracking intro back at the start.
There was a brilliant intro, and I wasted it. I could play it again, Ken, if you like.
Yeah, go on, play it again
No,
because
no,
people
no,
have missed it.
No. Enemy Insight says his first show was Selwick Open Day in 1975. Oh, those were the days. I think I was. Yeah, was I playing then? Probably was, but not enough to go to a show. Remember seeing all these shows in the magazines and thinking, I really want to go to that. My parents would never take me, never let me go. Probably
Magazines.
Yeah,
I love being a
magazines.
I love being a 90s child. I think about the internet. You guys had catalogs, magazines, mail order.
Benjamin says, watching this stream makes me happier and happier about going through a divorce.
Oh dear.
We perform a service.
The sofa lasted longer than Ken's brown bags, I can assure you. Absolutely a hell of a lot longer.
Oh no, there could be a little secret. You never know if you're coming to CrackCon what you might get in there, what you might get. So keep that. Yeah.
So CrackCon, we should do a little bit on this because I know everyone's really excited. I don't know why, because it's scaring the bejesus out of us. So CrackCon is tickets are on sale if you haven't already seen through the Facebook page.
How many we actually got left on?
We have 11. I think 17 tickets have sold. So and there's a couple of extra people on top of that. So about 10 left. So if you are interested in come along to Derby, to Boards and Swords on October 16th, to play a few games with us guys, we're trying to run some. Various people are going to run some games. We've got probably a Black Powder game. We'll have that wonderful Star Fort for an ECW game. There'll be lots of other stuff going on. So we'll obviously put together a list of things that are happening, and some people are very kindly bringing along games and what have you to play. But yeah, please, if you're interested, to come along, because otherwise we'll just have to listen to Ken's stories about Napoleon and how he paints ultramarines or whatever. I don't know. Just
I'm glad I keep you entertained, mate. I'm glad.
Frightening.
I was going to screenshot it, but the other day, I don't know whether it's a coincidence or not, but on Facebook you get those occasionally you get adverts, and just under the post for CrackCon, the very first item being sold was an Amazon advert for a full set of lederhosen. Do you know how close I came to buying lederhosen the other day?
Extremely.
I hope there was beer involved in that, Steve.
No, it was the middle of the day. I thought, you know what? That would suit me. I think I've got the svelte physique to pull off lederhosen.
You got the thighs for it, have you?
Nobody even knows what I'm coming dressed as yet. So there we go.
Oh my God!
Tennis lederhosen, isn't it?
Bill wants to know, is Hayley going to play Martin with her 95th? It's a no contest. There's no point. There's no point. Absolutely no point.
No, but Hayley is available to hire for tactical advice in whatever game you're about to play. She'll come over and tell you what you should do and what you should do.
Does that largely involve charging the enemy and killing them as much as possible?
Did you see what her brother did?
Yeah, I know he did exactly the same thing.
Exactly the same, and it's a family trait. It's like first turn cavalry across the board. No, we're going to ignore everything. Charge home. It's the only thing is that he rolled really badly, whereas she rolls really well in combat.
He did your role, didn't he?
He did do my role. Yeah, my favorite. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but my favorite part of the entire game was when the Highlanders charged with no casualties at the start and just got wiped out in closing fire. Just got smashed off the board in one round of closing fire.
Your favourite moment wasn't the fact those little green bastards, as you called them, got killed.
No, it wasn't. It was swiftly my favourite. But the thing with the Highlanders just completely took it. But the fact that the French were hiding behind the stacked up bodies of dead riflemen probably helped. So please, if anybody hasn't done already, buy your tickets, please. Links in the Facebook page, so remember to join that as well.
But if you need to, just send us an email. Email's in the description down below. And
I can pop a link in the comments. If you want.
Go and do that then. Good. Thank you very much indeed, Martin. Thank you very much. A couple of people already said in the chat, "Oh yeah, I'll buy them now," so that's good. So what advice have you got, Mac, for running CrackCon? How do we do it? How do we survive this nightmare? We got 30 people maximum. You've got 7,000 people.
Yeah, come on. That's a silly question. How do I give you advice? I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, it's just making sure you get everything in the right place at the right time. It's as simple as that. If you can organise, the suppliers to get your stuff. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming you've got tables and chairs and everything else already there, so that's half of the battle.
That's half the battle. That's what we thought. As long as we got that and some food and a pub nearby, then most people are going to be happy, aren't they?
Yeah, and some figures and terrain would be good as well. But
yes.
Oh damn! Shit! Damn, to organise that.
No, I mean, it really is everything. Even with Salute from day one, when I actually took over, it was just making sure that everything's in the right place at the correct time. I know it sounds silly. It sounds like a stupid thing to say, but as long as you keep on the ball and making sure that everyone agrees that they're going to do it, and just keep badgering them so they don't forget
to make sure they do it. Yeah.
I mean, it is. With Salute, there's so many things you have to make sure are in the right place. I mean, with Excel, I have to tell them exactly how many PowerPoints we want, where they're going to be in the plan and stuff like this. Who wants internet? What type of internet? I mean, down to the security, where the security are going to be, what the actual job will be, what places they'll be standing during the day, what else staff will be doing. Obviously, I got a guy that helps me with the rotor, so I give it to him and just check on him every few days that he's actually doing it right. So normally that goes really well. I did it 1 year before him, so I had a little bit of experience of doing the rotor. So I'm sure you'll want to be a lot smaller rotor than ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're going to try and make it a bit more, what's the word? Hands-on. We'll be a lot more hands-on with games and things like that, and try and make. I know we got Scenario King next to me at the minute. He loves writing a scenario, so a bit of story behind it all, I'm sure. Yeah, there you go.
Is he talking about me?
Yeah.
I just like to know why my figures are there. Why am I in there? Why are they fighting? Why are they feeling? Why are they at this river? You know.
Oh, I love it. I love Drew's comment. He said he was out on Sunday, so he made his wife Emma sit and refresh the page at 12 p.m. to buy my ticket, like it was Leeds to Reading Festival in the 20s.
Can Drew bring Rorke's Drift with him? I know he's in Scotland. Drew, can you bring Rorke's Drift with you?
Yeah.
Can you do a Rorke's Drift for us?
Actually,
no, because I'll buy. No, don't do that.
I was going to say, I think it's a really good idea because then
don't do that.
I'll tell you what, he'd have been very upset if he got error page 404 for the internet when he clicked on it.
No, just for you, Martin.
No. I just filmed a little video actually, which will be up in the next couple of days, and in it, there's an impromptu moment of me swearing about you and Drew for you sending me the box and then him constantly putting up those videos.
Just keep doing it, Drew. We need to swarm him under. That's what we need to do. Get him on it.
I'm a bit concerned by Shakos and Sprues, who wants to know, Steve, can you wear your codpiece under your lederhosens?
He's coming as well. James.
They don't call me sartorial Steve for nothing, you know.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is it too late to move it down south where he doesn't leave the north to come to it? Jesus. Oh, bloody hell. So what was it? Oh, God grief. There were some comments coming in there, and most of them I can't read because they're wrong. One of the questions I was going to ask you, Mac, as well, was around the you talked about traders and people signing up and what have to come along each year to Salute. Do you ever sort of consider the sort of feel in terms of the theme of the show? because what I love about Salute is there's all different stuff, right? You can walk around and there's fantasy, there's weird stuff going on over there. I have no idea what that's about. And then you've got the Perry stand, and you've got the Warlord stand, and you've got the historical stuff, and and there's such a nice range. But do you consciously try and keep that balance, or is it just a natural thing? And would you ever consider that you think, hang on a minute, we're heading too fantasy here?
The honest answer is no. Basically, as I said at the beginning, it's first come, first serve 90% of the time. Like, especially, it is for gamers, exactly first come, first serve. We do try to say, I mean, the only recommendation is a better word, is that, try and put on a good game, if that makes sense. An interesting game. It doesn't have to be one that costs an absolute fortune. It doesn't have to be something that you'd only ever see in a museum type quality of figures and stuff. It still has to be interesting. It has to be something that people can enjoy. So there's a little bit of thought going into it. I mean, we had one year, a couple of guys came in and literally put 4 bits of A4 paper down with some writing on it and a couple of figures, and then went and played went and shopped around the show. So we do try and make sure we get good games, if that makes sense. And as I say, it's not being picky or restricted or anything like that. It's obviously something that has got to make the public or seem interested, or give them something to look at to interest. I mean, you've been to enough shows yourselves to know that you'd much rather see something that's enjoyable and pretty to watch and have a chance to have a game on. That's really all we do. We don't really say to ourselves, well, no, actually we've got 50 historical ones, but we want a few more fantasy. It's what it comes is normally is, and it normally is about fairly even spread. We get comments. We've had comments over the years. Obviously, I look at sort of forums and stuff like that, and after the show, because I'll tell you now, I don't see the show. I have no idea what goes on in the show.
No, I can imagine.
I never get a chance to see a game. I look at all the photographs afterwards that people have taken on the day, so I can see what was in the show, because I don't get to see it. And I think, like, I missed that. How did I miss that type of thing? But we get comments all the time that, oh, it was too much fantasy, or it was too much historical. And those years, I then go away and I look at what the actual split was. You've only got to look at the brochure to see. You can see that it's 60 or whatever historical or 40 odd fantasy. And someone saying, "Oh, it was all fantasy. There was no historical or something like that." And you look
they
at
see what they want to see, though, don't they? That's the thing. Or don't want to see, probably.
I can understand it if you're just walking around the show, because there is so much going on. To see it all and take it all in a day is hard work, to say the least. I mean, there's not many that can actually go around and see everything. We have a couple of guys that go around and take photographs of every single game. And literally by the next day, they're all up on like some of the bigger forums and stuff. It's incredible stuff. But they're absolutely knackered by the end of the day, because we let them in about an hour or so early as well, like the press passes and stuff like that. They always get in a little bit earlier. So to actually restrict what comes in, it's just impossible to do. If we've had a game in the past that we've had possibly a bit of hassle with or something like that, and then maybe there might be a way of sort of slowing that application down a bit, but that's very, very, very rare. 99% of the time we've been absolutely brilliant sort of guys turning up the show with some great games and stuff like that. So I mean, you've only got to look at some of the pictures over the years of the games that have been on in the show. There's incredible stuff. While that goes on, there's no way we'd ever interfere with who comes in, who doesn't.
No.
I mean, we're down. We're down. I think we got about 13 spaces this year still for games, which is a bit of a shame. But so if you know anybody who wants to put a game, quick, you got a month or two. Let us know.
There we go. So there's a call out if you want to do a game at Salute. I did put one on with a couple of mates. We did a 15 mil ancient Alexander against Indians, and it was a massive thing. We had one of the side rooms in the old Kensington Town Hall, and it was exhausting but it was great fun to do. Really, really good fun. I'd love to do it again one day, but it was exhausting, I have to say. And I thought after, thank God it's only one day, because I couldn't have done it for 2. It was just, it was great. We started as a demo game and then turned it into a participation because so many people just came in, and we thought just let them play. It's brilliant.
So I had a question, Mac. It's just mine's not really directly about a salute, but the day after for you, is that just you just sit in a quiet room, just let with a beer and just turn the phone goes off, emails it off, and you just sit there and just look at just wait for just have a day to absorb everything that's happened?
I normally take 2 or 3 days off work. I mean, I'm old. Come on, I'm dead by the time Saturday night comes, and I have to drive home after that, and it's like, why didn't I take a taxi? It's like, geez, this is getting ridiculous. I say it's getting harder and harder. I normally take the Monday to Tuesday off of work as well, so I'm lucky at the job at the moment. I don't work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so it's even better. So I'll be set this year. So. Yeah, I mean, 90% of us don't. I mean, there's obviously everybody that helps in the show. It's lots of volunteers, and it's lots of family and friends and stuff like that. So it's not just Warlords. It's not just the guys from the club. It's their partners. It's their children. It's their stuff like that comes in and helps. My own daughter and a partner and Mrs. Nat normally help as well. So we all work non-stop. I mean, it's great fun, but it's very, very tiring. So yeah. Sundays, nobody contacts me on a Sunday.
No.
I just ignore it. As simple as that. I mean, I've got the answer phone here for the club answer phones in this room I'm sitting in now, but it has the volume turned right down. So that will go. I'll have something like 30 messages when I get home on a Friday night about the show for Saturday morning. So it's, how do I do this? How do I do that? So then you have to sort of deal with that a lot, and that's before you even look at the emails. So Sundays, no, please don't contact me. Well, you can, because I'll ignore it anyway. So
just ignore the whole thing. Yeah.
Do you ever?
I mean, I do love looking on, some of the forums and stuff like that, and some of the guys' blogs and that I follow. It's nice seeing what people think of the show.
I was going to say, you must get tremendous pride from it, and once you've recovered from it anyway. But I mean, it's such a well-liked show. Oh
yeah, I mean, nobody can turn around and say they don't get the enjoyment out of it. Obviously, it's a great feeling when you see the kids running around there and having such a great time, and partners, like you get the women there with the holding on the arm of the husband, trying to stop him from spending. But you get a lot of them that are actually joining in and playing games as well. So it's a great feeling. No, I'm not going to deny that. It's a great feeling, but it's a bloody hard work.
I bet it is.
Do you ever miss not actually being able to do the shows like, say, we would, like just a member of the public would?
Sorry, man. Sorry.
That's right. So do you ever miss like not being able to actually just attend the show as just like a member of the public?
Yeah, for the last 13. Yeah, I mean, it's getting to the point. How many more are in me, if that makes sense? We don't get many people volunteering. It's on the AGM. It's I normally try to walk out and get manhandled back. You're volunteering again. I don't know. I would love to go to the show and just enjoy the show. It's not going to happen. I don't think while I'm running it. There's no way possible. I don't know if I can do a couple of more shows. That'd be good. After that, maybe I can enjoy it when I retire from doing the show.
Yeah, definitely.
You go to any other shows?
I really only other show I go to was Selwig at the Crystal Palace, but that's moved now over to the new sports centre. So probably not this year. I really only like the local shows. That's really. That one, there's one over, Sittingbourne somewhere, I can't remember. There's a small one in the school. There's a couple of mates of mine go to. It's a really nice one. It's a tiny, tiny little show, but it's great. But that's about it. I don't go to none else. I did a few years back. We, as a normal club member, we we put on games at other shows. So we've done Sheffield and things like that. So you go down, stay for the weekend or whatever, from the Friday onwards. So yeah, I've been to a few of them, but other than that, no. Sloop really is the only show I go to. I say Selwyn was probably my favourite little show around here anyway, close to me.
Yeah. Because Warlords is South London Warlords is a very big club, isn't it? How many members have you got?
Well, there are bigger clubs. We got on the books. It's been a while since I was membership secretary, but if I remember right, it's about something like 90 odd members. I think there's something like 60 odd that are full members, and we have associate members and stuff like that. Because that's roughly what we get when I actually run in a sloot. It's about 90 something people there. So I could probably put the forum on and have a look, but I think it's about 90. I think it's about 90 members we got now.
So it's extraordinary that it's this massive show has grown out of a club, just like any other club. Really, there's dozens of them around the country, and yet before
the sort of the COVID stuff and that, on the normal club night, you'd probably see 20 odd people at the club or so. 25 people. Unless it was a big game Saturday, something might be a few more. But on a Monday night, that'd be about it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, fantastic. Again, give you a bit of a break, Matt. Shall we do a bit of news? Anybody seen anything interesting? Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Ken will
Don't forget it.
Tell me off if I don't
forget it.
Which one is it? That one. Boom, boom, boom. I found it in the end. There you go. Anybody seen anything interesting in the news? Or should we just move on? No. I did see this. Wargames at Lanswick. The new plastics out.
Yeah.
I think that's just the first
Angela.
run of the first run of their sprue, isn't it? I don't think it's actually for sale yet, but it's on its way. For those Germans out there who are really interested in their grey. Steel grey, Steve. Oh no, we can't say that about you. It's been 8 months since you painted anything grey.
Actually, I've just used some field grey.
No.
It's to paint some gloves though. It's nothing German. No, that I do like them. That Panzer looks really nice, and it's plastic.
It is plastic, sadly.
Sensible way forward from Atlantic.
No.
Be interesting to see them. With with Warlord, they just released their Panzer metal figures.
Yes.
I think it's clear who might sell more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
plastic is
for the same price. I can't. It's too small the picture, but for that was about £25 for that for 30 figures, versus probably the same price for 10 figures.
For 10
so
and the metal.
Probably what's going to win it for.
So I think we all know which ones I'm going to be investing in.
I didn't think there was any question of anything else there, really. Victrix came out with their Persian armoured cavalry.
Yeah,
which look very nice.
Yeah.
More cavalry. Where's the French? That's what we want.
We're waiting for the Bavarians. I thought the Bavarians would be next. Napoleonic Bavarians, but they don't seem to have come out of the sausage factory yet. But yeah. For the ancients, I like my ancients, but I won't be investing in those. 12 figures, 27 quid though. Again, good value, very good value. I posted this on the Facebook page, but if anybody's interested, Osprey's got a sale on at the moment, 30-40% off for the month of August. So get your summer reading ready to get yourself whatever. What are you recommending this month, Martin, for getting everybody addicted? I mean, so we can get reading up in advance. So we just carry on
where are we? We're August. I guess so. Yeah. Sorry, I was sorry you put me on the spot. I'll think of something.
I
blame. There you go.
We could do Zulu maybe. Get the books on Zulu.
I'm not going to be doing 10 mil.
Kickstarter coming out from Footsore. It's looking really interesting. Next, I think it's coming out late this month. Welsh medieval warriors. They do look pretty interesting.
We'll be backing it anyway, won't you? Because you've backed all their Kickstarters, haven't you, for Baron's War?
I have, but I actually don't know that I will. Not that they're not very nice, but I've just got so many Baron Wars figures. I'm not sure I need anything early medieval anymore. Plus, somebody's made me buy hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of War of the Roses figures.
Well, the thing is, I just realised you've painted up. What have you done? You've done, because you've done Stanley. You've got two armies that can actually play each other. So
I have. That was the plan. Yeah. Yes, I've got Stanley and Exeter. Well, both Stanleys and Exeter, and then I'll probably do some more because there's just masses of them still left. I've really enjoyed doing them. But it's going to be people with nice, easy heraldry, that's for sure. So that was the ones I saw. Shaco's said Warlords didn't actually announce any new starter at UK. Yeah, I think they did get me. I was expecting them to announce epic Napoleonics.
They probably saw the stream last week and probably thought, "Nah, bollocks! We're not going to play into their hand. No, we're not going to do that."
We're now an extension of their marketing division.
Yeah, they hate us.
Yeah, probably true. Although talking about Warlords, I forgot this one. Thanks for reminding me, Leslie. Skytrex, who are now owned by Warlords, have taken over the Trent miniature range.
Yes.
Which was Duncan old range. Yeah. Which is interesting. They picked that up. It sounded like it was basically just handed over to them, I think, from what I was reading between the lines, but interesting. Be nice to see that range carry on because there's some really quirky bits in it. Not necessarily going to be mass audience, but nice that
I was going to say, when I saw that news, that's a pretty niche period. I mean, 10 years. Yeah,
they do. There's some really odd. There's like Irish rebellion figures, aren't there? But they do also some sort of more mainstream. There's a couple of character figures for Napoleonics. There's some medievals, I think. There are a few, and some Napoleonic early war Napoleonics in their range as well. So there are a few bits of normal ones. But yeah. It's an interesting one. It's nice to see that the range isn't dying, at least. Yeah. So
yes.
Anything else anybody else saw? People are asking about what's happening with the Perry Prussians. I haven't seen anything on this yet.
Well, they're asking Jim. I don't know if that's if he's got them in or if they're gone out. I've seen some people painting them up, so I think they're out.
Yeah, I know James posted that his had arrived. Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is like obviously the Perry warehouse has been emptied. It is currently on its way to Jim's garage, I assume.
Where else can you get 30% off the Perrys with including the Plastic Crap Podcast Code? I know nowhere. There you go.
So Leslie says it's because Skytrex were already making figures for Duncan. That will explain it. Okay. Vindy, Revolution, and Maoris. Okay, yeah, they have some really obscure ranges in that range, but there's some nice figures. I've got a couple in my collection. They're really fun. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see. I'm waiting for. Obviously, I've seen lots of people posting videos about the Perry's Franco-Prussians. You bastards, all of you, because I'm trying to resist buying them.
You resist? Come on!
I know it's an amazing thing.
Well, Dom, when you put your order in for your Renedra bases from the Perrys, why don't you just slip a couple of the Franco-Prussians in there while you're at it?
Yeah,
just slip them in.
Yeah, you know that order would be like £10. Why not round it up to 50?
And do you know what?
I went to war bases to be safe.
I've heard the best time to order things is about 12:15 on a Friday night. 3/4 a bottle way down a bottle of Merlot. That just adds to the purchasing effect.
Mm.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of Carthaginians here that would agree with you.
I wonder if like the Perrys and their website or Jim's got a lot of orders once this podcast was ending. or during it when we were talking about Wars of the Roses the other week, because he did get a lot of orders in, didn't he?
Yes, like 67 boxes he had to see.
67 boxes, yeah, something like that. Jeez.
That's Dom's weekend sorted anyway.
Yeah. Oh, what am I going to do for the Sunday though, Steve? For goodness sake. Yeah, it's I have got a few coming from him, to be fair. Yeah. But they're mainly the things I haven't got, like cavalry. So yeah, I don't know.
You going to make any purchase soon, Mac? You going to buy any new stuff?
No. Honest, no. In case she hears me, she may watch the video afterwards. No. I mean, I've been mucking around with some 3D stuff at the moment. So,
okay.
Yeah, because of this fanatical with spaceships. So I've been mucking around with new spaceships now. I've got some up on the website. So I'm looking at obviously at some point getting a decent 3D printer. My one's a bit old and rubbish now. I've sent some to my mate to actually print out for me, so I should pick them up on Thursday. And if they're okay, then I'll start doing some more. But it's just a little sideline, really. But I'm doing it for myself first. But then, a few people had already asked if they can have the STL files, so I should be giving away a few files.
Oh, nice,
awesome.
I'm really enjoying it. It's something I've always wanted to do. But my skill level wasn't great. But I'm getting better, so I'm enjoying it.
I mean, spaceships are ideal for that sort of thing, aren't they? Just absolutely ideal for doing 3D design and printing, I would think.
Yeah. I mean, I'd never go. I certainly wouldn't be skilled enough to do a figure like a normal soldier or nothing. But spaceships, I'm actually knocking out a few now, so I'm quite enjoying it.
Oh, nice.
But no, for buying stuff, I'll wait till Salute. I might pick up something then. I don't know what, but probably a few more bits for the bolt action Germans or the British. So.
A wise choice, Mac. A very wise choice.
Yeah, the problem is I've got thousands of them in 20mm because I'm a rapid fire player and stuff like that. So, but they play all right in bolt action. So I've used 20mm in bolt action quite a lot. So, and especially on a big table, it looks really good.
It
feels good. I've got a few games lined up with mates and at the club coming up in September, so it's trying to finish off some Germans. I've probably got enough for about four or five units, but I just wanted some vehicles to go with them. So I've got a lot that's primed but not actually painted up, and I'm looking for a few little bits extra.
Just those little bits.
just the little bits, to fill in the corners.
Oh my goodness!
So Salute might get some bits in.
So here's a chance to plug it, Mac. Shrine7 says spaceships just need some decent rules.
There's only one set of decent rules, mate. Stars and lasers.
Stars and lasers.
So, War Games Vault.
If you missed it at the beginning of the podcast, that's Mac's own rule set that he was talking about right at the beginning. Get out there, get them. I used to play Full Thrust years ago, but I don't know whether that's still going. That was kind of
it's still going. It's still going. Definitely is. Ground Zero Games. It's you get the free rules now. They do a light version of rules for free.
Okay.
I mean, I started with that type of game, and it was really good. I wanted something more cinematic and more simpler.
Yeah.
It's a little bit complicated unless you're really used to it. If that makes sense. I'm not saying it's a bad game because it's not. It's a great game. But trying to put all of the moves down before you move and stuff like that, and getting all the degrees and things, it's just too much for me. My old brain can't cope with that. So it had to be something simple.
I hear you. It actually reminds me of a game playing at Salute many years ago. I think again in the hall in the Kensington Hall, where they had some massive Star Trek game where they were on great big bases in the room, and you had to sit on the side of the room, control give your orders from afar, which was incredibly difficult because there were asteroids and all sorts of things, and if you bumped into them, it tended to not go well for the ships. And I do remember after we had partaken of a few beers, and we went back and played a game in there, and my mate managed to ram the Enterprise with his troop transport. I think it was some kind of tanker or something. It then bounced into an asteroid and exploded. which made a lot of young kids cry because there was James T. Kirk just floating across the hall, and we went, should we just go back to the pub now? Yeah, so we did. And it was great. It was great fun. I love those sort of games. Dear. Someone says they like Billion Suns rules, shakers and screws. I don't know. I don't play enough spaceships myself, but I did used to enjoy the odd game of Full Thrust. It was always good. Wow, oh, crikey, we're 20 minutes out. So, shall we do a few pictures of people's stuff that people put up on the Facebook page? Because there was some good stuff, and I tried to pick up a few bits and bobs without repeating too many people's, because there was some outstanding work as usual from you folks out there. I'm going to start again with our friend of the channel, Sean, because it's in keeping with the theme.
Northumberland. Hooray!
So this is Sean, who has produced these wonderful command figures for Bosworth.
Good.
So as I understand it, one of his mates is running a game at Bosworth Battlefield in the. Is there an exhibition centre or?
There's a visitor centre there. So he's putting it on in that. I think it's on the anniversary of the battle. I think
actually on the anniversary. Fantastic!
Yeah, because that's in about 20 days. Or at the weekend of the anniversary anyway.
So Sean, if you're listening back, if you're not watching live, put in the chat, put in the Facebook page when and where, please, because I'm sure there's lots of people who love to go and see that battle. What else we got? Andy, look at this thing.
That is absolutely insane.
I know.
I mean,
it's just what is it? Well, I can't. It was just when he started. I had to do a double take and realise that it's just awesome. But I like the
free New Model Army, didn't he? And then I looked at it and think, hang on a minute, that's not New Model Army.
Well, look at his helmet. It's a 3-bar pot helmet. It's just
I know.
That's what.
Unbelievable.
Those skulls look incredible.
Wow.
They look like it's like a toxic sort of. Oh, it's just really cool.
Just hats off to Andy for that one. Jesus, really, really impressive. Equally good. This is another Andy. This was his game of Pikeman Lament, which actually looked really sweet, really good fun. But there was another game.
You can't beat guns.
Look at that game. This was Stig. Geez, look at that.
That's that big World War II table that I've seen. I swear it is. It looks very familiar.
It's on Facebook, probably, mate.
That's ambition right there. That's what everyone should be aiming for.
It's huge, that table.
Except that table's bigger than my flat, so.
Yeah.
It's an impressive looking game. I think he said it was down at his club, his local club, and that was the game they put on when they restarted. Absolutely. But I have to take the tone down a bit and issue my first yellow card of the night.
I hope it's a badger.
Yay!
That's Di. I have to say, in all honesty, it's an awesome painted job. He's done a brilliant job with it. Really, really good. But it is still a yellow card, mate. Sorry, can't help it. Anthony, still working his way through these Brunswickers.
Tell you what, he's a machine, isn't he? He's an absolute painting machine.
His floorboards must give way for the amount of front rank metal Brunswickers he has got. It's just extraordinary, and they're beautifully done. I just love them. Love his videos as well, so check them out. Drew, he said he wasn't going to paint. He was only going to do the British. He lied.
He's discovered the proper side. That's what he's done.
Discovered the Ultramarines, obviously.
Yes, he has. They're so. I hope he's followed my painting guide as well. Plug there.
Plug. We've got Ken Riley. This is his.
Nice.
They're brilliant.
Nice, modern, isn't it? Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
I think they're Israeli.
Israelis, yeah, something like that. I remember him saying.
Oh, sweet,
really
man.
sweet.
Nicely
Nice
done.
Is that for Team Yankee or?
I don't know.
They do a there is a supplement for the 6-Day War. Not Bow Action,
Flames of War. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm getting mixed up. Oh, yeah, this is Team Yankee.
And then this was Richard who posted up this one, and it made me chuckle because he said he just loves painting miniatures and setting them up in dioramas, but he hates historical accuracy. So that's what he's done. And good on him. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good for you, Richard. That's all I'm going to say. And I spent a good 5 minutes on a very boring call this afternoon when I was supposed to be working, trying to identify the different troop types that these troops are made of. I can see a Carabinier helmet at the back there somewhere, and there's conquistadors. All sorts. It's brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Madness. Absolute madness. Pith helmets, all sorts.
It looks like what's that at the back there? That hat. It looks like what a French officer would wear.
Yeah. There's a bicorn there.
Bicorn, yeah.
Pith helmet. I mean, literally everything. It's great fun. Steve had this.
Oh yes, it's
That is awesome.
That man knows how to paint flesh.
He does,
100%. That is
That's from
nice.
2000 AD. It's Slain. Which is it's wicked.
We're going to have to make a new thing. I hate the plastic crap. I blame the plastic crap podcast news, because when you go through all this, you're thinking. So I'm thinking about those Israelis now. I'm like, damn it.
Oh my lord. So apparently that. Oh, wait, I've just lost the chat. Where's it gone? Here we go. So it was Team Yankee. It was.
All right.
Oil Wars.
Yeah.
There you go. And apparently the big battle was Sword Beach, linking up with Pegasus down his club. Bloody hell. Awesome. What else we had? We had Stephen. I have no idea what that is, but it's impressive.
I like the fact that. I like the fact that you said it listens to Slayer.
While it's doing its killing.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the only music to do that kind of thing too.
Awesome. Steve Evans.
Ooh,
He's doing it in 10 mil. He's doing more than
that's 15. It's Peter Pig.
That was Peter Pig. He did say, you're quite right. He did say it's Peter Pig. Yeah. Well remembered. Really nice. Lee is working on this.
That chest armor is awesome colour.
Yeah.
That's a really nice colour.
Yeah, he was asking the question whether he thought it was right. It was a good colour. I think it's absolutely fantastic.
It's wicked on him. Yeah.
It's wicked. That's from Mythic Battles. It's like 54 mil as well. It's massive.
Bloody hell. Scary. I wouldn't want to do anything that big because they could see how terrible my paint strokes are. It's just awful.
See, I was until I saw the price. Have you seen that Marvel? Is it a Crisis Protocol?
Yeah.
The scale. I was going to get into that. Then I saw the price, and then once I changed my my clothes, I decided not to get into that game because it's ridiculous.
The northerner in you kicked in, did it, Steve?
But not even that. I mean, it's just. I mean, I don't mind, for quality things. I just couldn't justify spending that much on a game. It's just me. If I win the lottery or an unknown, very rich relative carks it and I get a massive inheritance, potentially. But until that point, no.
Stuart Mack was showing off his epic figures.
Yeah.
He said they were a night bugger to paint, but they've come out really nicely. I mean, there you go, Ken. That's something to aim for. Look at that.
Yeah, I know. He's a commission painter, remember?
I know he is. But they're really sweet. Really good.
Yes.
Really good job. And Warren is showing off some of his 3D. Look at those. Some stumpies. They look
That's some
I know last week a question was asked about them. They are 3D printed.
They are.
But they're like 4K scale detail, so that they're like uber detailed.
Very nice.
I mean, look at the... Is that a wolf head on the top of the shoulders of one of them? And you can see how clear it is. It's fantastic. Absolutely amazing model. Something to aspire to one day. Tony Phillips.
Oh, yeah, Sylvaneth.
If you say so. And I finish up with this one, Welsh Wargaming. Put this one up.
That tabard is awesome.
Look at that. Really good job. I wouldn't do a close up like that because it would everyone would realise how shocking my tabards are. But that is brilliant, really, really nicely done. Some awesome work, and yet another person who has fallen foul of the curse of Martin. Into War of the Roses. So we've got about 10 minutes to go. So let's do the code. This will not surprise anybody. The code for tonight for extra 10% off from Jim's reapergames.co.uk. PCP 10. If you give in that code, you put it in the online store, you get an additional 10% off of all his goodies, and a reminder that if he hasn't already got it on the store itself, he can order it in. He is a one-man band. He did mention earlier on he's been a little bit overwhelmed by him, and his little tiny box cutting knife has been a bit overwhelmed by all the initial orders flooding in. So bear with him, but they are coming. And I think Perry's have been a little slow in delivering, but Warlords seem to be delivering quite quickly. So pop over there if you're interested. If you need some figures, box of Perry's for 13 quid, you can't go wrong, really, can you?
No, you can't. No, especially when there's 48 of the buggers in there. it's like 23p a model. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's so good.
Ken's off in his own little world again. Look.
Do you know what genuine fear is? Do you know what genuine terror is? I've just experienced it. Look how little Agrax Earthshade I've got left.
Oh my god, the talent is running out. What's going on?
Do you know what? I hope there's a shortage now, Steve. Then you'll have to try some strong tone.
I've got strong tone. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it,
mate. That's what you call minuscule.
Oh bloody hell! Yeah, that's
that's what you call a teeny amount of Agrax. But then you got a spare bottle.
No, I think I'm doing an order tomorrow because I've got to order some contrast paints for those stormtroopers. So I'm gonna do a bit of a stock up on paint tomorrow, but Agrax is definitely on the top of the list because I can't survive without that stuff.
Love it. I did a similar thing with the old Vallejo European mud. I couldn't find it anywhere, and I've almost used it all up on my pot, so I had to buy a load more. And Wayland's seemed to have run out, which is really annoying.
Do you know what, Dom? I'm that person that's competing at you for that because I'm trying to find it as well.
I found it.
So yeah,
I found it.
Have they got any more left? Because I still need another bottle.
No, not Wayland. If you go to what's the Welsh one? Fire something.
Fire and Swords. Yeah,
Firestorm.
Firestorm.
I'm going there now before anyone else does.
They had one, but they don't anymore. I'm afraid, Ken. But they will. They said they'll get more in the end of the week, so order some if you want. So I've fallen in love with that stuff. It's fantastic. And I tried to use the Russian mud one, but I didn't like that as much. It was all a bit sloppy and yeah. Be good on wrapping around the cogs of a tank, that's for sure, but not as a base. Doesn't work quite so well. Anyway, enough of my mud hunting. So we've got about 5 minutes left or so. What's everyone up to this week? So Mac, I guess you're going back into the absolute mayhem that is Salute. Final preparations and the rundown. Do you have a little calendar on the wall or scratches on the wall with your fingernails as the days go by?
Teeth marks and fingernails. No. It's we have a timeline that was done by one of the guys previous to me, so it gives me an idea of what he's doing. But obviously that's been thrown out the window this last year or two. My joy today was working through the risk assessment. So adding stuff in for COVID and stuff like that. So that's up to about 40 pages long now, so it's not too bad. It's stuff like that. Obviously, I've got to finalise the forms for Salute 50, which is 2022. Once that's done, I'd have a week off probably. It's the same every year. I mean, there's no different this year because of COVID in the sense of what we do. Obviously, we're now running 2 shows, as I said before. Luckily, this year's show is basically buttoned up. Hopefully, unless anything else goes silly wrong. It's just fingers crossed, hoping it's going to go all right, and seeing what the regulations are like at the time. to know if there's anything else we have to put into the show specific, like to cover the regulations that XL throw at us or the government throw at us. Hopefully, it shouldn't be too bad. We're hoping, obviously, fingers crossed. But 2022, we should hopefully be way out of the woods by then. So,
oh God, I hope so.
Yeah, I say in that hopefully, but yeah, who knows? Yeah,
Shakos wants to know if you added a risk assessment for Ken hitting his credit limit and Laura coming down and beating his head in.
There's a few of my mates that they really suffer when coming out. Their cars suffer with the weight.
I think it's always saved me that I end up getting the train. So there's only so much metal I can carry around when I'm in a shopping frenzy in the backpack. So yeah. Although I do remember.
Sorry, go on. I was just going to say, like, obviously South London Warlords, it's most of us are based around South London, so it's less journey for us. Obviously, some of the guys come from up north, and that is driving that. We do see some videos now and again where there's like 5 or 6 of them in a van or a car or something coming down, getting drunk on the way. but yeah, no, it's obviously easier for us. Obviously, it's local show, so for us anyway. So obviously we drive and get as much as we can bloody carry to go home.
Yeah.
So I think Friends of General Haig echoes what we all. Well, I certainly feel. I think Ken and Martin probably feels the same. Big thank you to the team. Really, really great show.
Definitely,
I mean, the fact you put it on and you managed to do this, and how you managed to run it through, keep it going through COVID. Because I know my local club that I join, we have a tiny show, and it didn't happen last year. It's not going to happen this year. Whether it happens again, I doubt. It may do, it may not, but I think that a lot of shows have gone by the way. So the fact you managed to keep it running is amazing. I'll certainly be queuing up. Well, actually, I might be sitting having a coffee, watching everyone queue up with Martin. Maybe that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
So, what else are you folks up to? Steve, what are you up to this week?
Concentrating on these US Airborne because I'm 7 figures away from finishing the entire project. Then I've got to add 3 vehicles, but I really want to start those Star Wars Legion figures. That's going to be a bit of a temptation because I know exactly how I want the Rebel troopers to look. And it's going to be, having looked at them, they are so nice. I really can't wait to get started on them.
They are cool.
They are really nice. But yeah, the main focus is to show a bit of restraint and actually get this US Airborne project finished in the next 2 weeks.
Very nice.
Excellent. And Ken, more Northumberland, I guess?
No. For me, I've got, doing this battalion, regiment, I keep saying battalions, so I'm used to it. So the epic stuff. I'm going to finish that off, and then I'm going to paint. Where is he? Lord of the Rings. He's going to come on because that's magazine 5 now. I've got some videos coming up for 3 and 4 for the magazines to get released. So they're done. Then I'll be going back to Northumberland after that. But I just want to point out, do you know, Mac, do you know if they do 6mm samurai at Salute?
Zing!
Do you know, I just interesting.
He's waited until 1:58 and 33 seconds to try and get his own back.
I've got
anyway, enough from Kenneth. Martin, what have you been up to, mate? What are you up to this week?
I am going to. I was telling you, I'm going to do them in one afternoon. I just need to find an afternoon that I want to do them in.
Exactly the same.
I'm going to be finishing off my command base for John Neville. I've got some handgunners I'm working on, and I'm doing a big multi-base of 30 troops for that Kings of War. I'm putting 30 guys on one base, so I'm going to be putting something together there. That's and I've got a whole bunch of videos to edit because I've kind of I've realized I've got about 4 that I've shot and just not edited, so I need to. I figured I could just do them and then set them all up.
Excellent. I'm really struggling to do videos at the moment myself. I had a game on Friday which I was going to film, but then we had to come indoors, and I didn't feel like I could really film in Jonathan's front room with his family running around. Plus, it was one of those sharp practice games where just everything goes wrong from day one, from the moment the first dice happened or the first card happened. It just was the most one-sided game in the world, so it wouldn't have been any fun anyway. So I'm struggling a bit. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with this week, but I'll carry on with my Wars of the Roses addiction for sure for this week for me.
Good man.
And we'll see where we go. So anyway, thanks very much, everybody. Thanks, Mac. I hugely appreciate you coming on. I know you were forced to come on here by the committee and strong-armed into doing it.
Volunteered.
Yes. You've got to learn how to say no. So you obviously that's your fault. But I really, really appreciate it. It's been great to get the insight on the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate coming on. And I know lots of people in the comments saying how much they've enjoyed it, and good to hear how the show runs and how much we all appreciate it. And we can't wait to get down there.
Definitely.
In November.
I look forward to seeing you guys anyway. Come over and say hello to me. I'll be the idiot running around in the bright yellow shirt or the orange shirt.
The one with his hair on fire with about 15 coffees on the go. That'll be you. Yeah, we'll come over and say for sure. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody. Thanks, guys. Who's on next week? I have no idea who's on next week.
Well, it's Ken, yeah, because the order is all changed. Yeah,
the order went all up the spout. So Ken's will host next week. We will see you all again next Monday night, hopefully with a little less problems with the notifications. And I'll leave you with our sponsor, which is the Right Reverend Kenneth Edridge.
And I think,